So once it's tolerated, it's normal. So our job is to help reflect back and say, I need you to know this is where the standard is, because how you're showing up, the words that you're using, the way we're treating people, it's not okay. Here's the thing in business. You're either a starter, a bench player, or you're off the team, and that has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with you.
I thought we could turn this into a live podcast. So you guys are going to be on the podcast right now, in the live audience, right? So Coach and I did a podcast, but it was quick because, as you guys see, she talks fast, she moves fast, she acts fast, and she had a very fast window to do 15 minutes with me before. And I said, we'll do a part 2, but we'll do it live. Yeah. You remember I told you that? This is it. If you haven't picked up, we're doing it. We're doing it right now. So, Coach, there was something you talked about yesterday. By the way, amazing keynote. Everyone enjoy that? Give it up for her. Thank you. Yesterday at the VIP dinner, you talked about respect.
Yeah.
And that you see this, I could tell you grew up old school, okay?
Yes.
I'm the same way, right? Didn't show a lot of respect, you caught one. And I mean like, a hook or a smack. But you see a lack of it in the corporate world. You see a lack of it, I know, in the athletic world. Yeah. How is that, I mean, there's obvious answers, but how is that kind of deteriorating things, and how do we turn that around?
So it's interesting because since COVID hit, there's just been this literally shift in professionalism. I'll go in a corporate office, I'll go in a locker room, I'll go different places, and how people speak, what they say to each other, how they care, dressing, showing up, it's just gone down. We've allowed it. There's a standard that's been allowed. So in the locker room, there's just a lack of respect for those that have gone before them a little bit. When you go into the corporate office, I literally can't believe people just coming in, what they'll say to a CEO and just speak it. And what we need to do, again, going back to holding the standard of excellence, is I never make anyone feel bad, but what I do is ask a lot of questions and saying, hey, how do you think this lands if you were in my shoes and we were in this situation and I just said what you said, and I repeat it back to them, because part of emotional intelligence is a lot of the work that I do, and the way that we're gonna get people to shift up is to help increase their emotional intelligence, because they're not even necessarily aware that the slide has happened because it's become a tolerance. So once it's tolerated, it's normal. So our job is to help reflect back and say, I need you to know this is where the standard is, and right now I'm calling you up, not out, but we've got to raise the bar here, because how you're showing up, the words that you're using, the way we're treating people, it's not okay, but I believe in you and I want you to be great. I want you to be great. And once you give that to someone, they're like, oh, you want me to be great? Yeah, I do. But you got to start leveling up. And then I say to people, do you love sports? They're like, yeah. I was like, great. And I said, here's the thing in business. You're either a starter, a bench player, or you're off the team, and that has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with you.
Right.
So a starter acts like this, right? A bench player is learning. They might come into the game, and then if you don't want to do any of that, you're off the team.
You're off the team.
It's not personal.
No, it's not. There's lots of obvious synergies in love for sports stories and how it ties back to the business world. We all do, right? I mean, I'd listen to Tom Brady say, let's fucking go, and then look what happens, things happen, now we're here. There's always these ties, but you see it on a different level. How are those synergies between sports and business? Because so many people love sports. There's some that don't, but most people enjoy sports. And then there's these beautiful unifying moments like we had with the hockey team, right?
So good.
But how are you seeing sports, or what you see at that high performance level, translating in the business world?
What I'll just say is my job over the past 30 years is studying patterns of greatness. And I will say, don't fall in love with potential, study the pattern. You could be really encouraged to see people grow, but the patterns are telling you who they are right now.
Yep.
And greats are delusionally confident. They're delusional, but it's the best thing, because when I'm working with someone and I'll say to them, do you think we're gonna win the Stanley Cup or the World Series or the Super Bowl? They're like, hell yeah. They could be in last place.
That's called the Dallas Cowboy fan base. Because I'm a recovering Cowboys fan. Like, I didn't know what delusion in sports was until I had this awakening. I'm like, every fucking year we say the same thing, and every fucking year it goes to a new low. Like, where they do less with more. It's just like, to the point where I stopped watching them. Sorry, I had to say it.
I mean, this is great. I love this. You and my mom. My mom was a Dallas Cowboy. We were all New York Giants. We didn't understand. But I just want to say, imagine the players on that team, though. You feel like that as a fan, and they still have to come in and play all season. So they have to believe that there's a chance because there's always the underdog story. So what if that year, that's the year, which it very well could be, because anything could happen. So I want to just say delusional confidence, but they're working, by the way. You can't just show up and be confident, but you're not working on your craft, okay? The other thing is obsession to the craft and detail. Obsessed. Steph Curry still shoots the same damn shots every time. Everyone I'm around, they're doing the same thing since they were 5. They're obsessed with working the craft. If you want your business or life to get better, you have to stay obsessed to the detail of it, because consistency wins. Most people go, they do something, then they fall off because they lost their motivation. Guess what? When you're in the pros or you're you're the CEO of your business, you don't get the opportunity to just lose the motivation or because you're tired that day. No, you lock in consistently for years, by the way.
Yeah.
You don't even get days off sometimes.
No, you don't. I heard this great expression from an entrepreneur that the money is in the monotony. The money is in the monotony, right? And the success is in doing the shots over again. Just because you're doing something for a long period of time and you feel this inkling like I'm bored, we as human beings, especially now because we're overstimulated and given way too many options, we feel this need to pivot and I need to do something different. But you don't have to, right? No. It's right there.
Hey, Zig Ziglar had given the same speech over and over, and someone said, "Are you going to change it?" He goes, "Why? It's working."
Yeah.
For like years.
So true. Something to remember for all of us, right? And patterns and everything that we do with work. There was another thing, going back to the athletes and respect. You told this funny story, and I want you to share it again because those that were at the dinner caught it. You walked out of the locker room, and there was this new athlete who had been traded to a team. Yeah. He said, I'll let you tell the story, but he asked if you wanted his autograph. And I said, do you want mine?
Yeah, I told them, and I was
You did, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind sharing it again, because this will actually will air.
Sorry. Okay, let's do that again. I didn't tell them. No, just kidding. Hey, let me tell you this cool story. So this is about, again, to set this up though, this is about truly being comfortable in your own skin, not trying to be something that you're not, and that you've worked your craft. Because when you're prepared, you could show up for game day. So people say to me, do you get intimidated going into locker rooms or being there? And I was like, no, they don't know what I know, and I don't know what they know. So we're coming together to make a great team. So I'm waiting outside the locker room, and the guy that got traded came over, and he's like, are you waiting for my autograph? And I said, no. You waiting for mine? And he goes, no. Why would I want yours? I said, why would I want yours? Like, what am I going to do with this? By the way, I have a hard thing too with, think about when you take an autograph and you go make money off of it. You didn't work for that, and now you're making money off of an athlete. So be very respectful and don't go hate them at Twitter if you literally just sold their autograph for money. It's a whole world. It's like so weird to me.
Yeah, no, good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we used to put
so
much.
Be kind on your tweets and showing up, and don't bombard them. They're normal human beings that are really trying hard every day.
Coach, with everything you've kind of gone through in life and all this adversity, like you're clearly in your genius zone. Like you see it in people. You see it in Jared when he's up here, what he's doing. You see it in Amber Lee. And every once in a while we cap with these, like it intersects, like our pathway and work and then this like the road we were supposed to be on. Like when you're on stage and I hear you talk, you're doing what you were meant to do. Yeah. Was there a moment in this journey where you kind of knew that your purpose was to serve, to give, to affect change?
Yeah. Since I was a little kid, I hurt when people hurt. I really do. When you hurt, I hurt. And I don't even have to know you, but if you're telling me something and you hurt, I hurt. And I've been like that since I was a kid. And I just knew that I wanted to help people. And it was when my grandfather had a stroke at 16. I was 16, and I saw this occupational therapist come and work on his cognition, and I said, that's it. I know what I want to do as far as helping that way. I didn't know it would take me to here, but this is where you leave opportunities open for where I believe God's going to take you. For the longest time, I felt like an outlier because my vision, I have this assessment that shows you kind of where you are, and I'm off the charts on visionary. And so I could see where I could take people before they could, but it seems weird to everyone because you're such a big visionary. And so I could see ideas and digest them, and people used to go like, Dar, does your brain shut off? Is it like, why do you think so big? But it was when this woman came to me and she said, wow, when she did this assessment, she's like, it's off the charts. And it was just something that clicked, that it was like, this is not, it's like having ADHD. It's not that it's bad for you, you could use it for good. But it was in that moment that I said, gosh, if I could take this knowledge and I could teach people around the world. And again, after 3 strokes, sugar, like, let's go have some fun. I just want to go tell the whole world before I'm going out on empty. So I'm going to give you all the knowledge here so you could go do good, and let's see what happens.
I love it. Coach, we talked at the beginning, and this is where I want to land the plane, about the one-word concept. And I appreciate you highlighting it because you have a very similar running philosophy that parallels that with what you talk about in finding purpose. But I'd be curious to get, because I didn't get to ask you that question, but I asked.
My one word?
Yeah, what is your one word? At the end of your life.
Greatness.
It's greatness.
Yeah, and I would add a verb in front of it. It'd be awaken greatness, because my mission is to motivate, inspire, and awaken greatness in myself and others around the globe. That every day I pray that I hope my words help you. I hope that, again, let's say when we're toasting my 100th birthday. How about that?
Deal.
Toast my 100th. That would be like everyone in there in that room is like, Dar, help me, whether it was through speaking or connecting or presence or whatever, just help me awaken that greatness in me.
Okay, from your lips to God's ears, the invite is there for everyone for a 100th birthday. If you sign up with Opt Health, you probably have a real good chance of making it to 100.
50 more years.
Making it to 100 and living a long life. Coach, appreciate you pouring into us, and I think everyone would agree that that word fits you perfectly. And you've affected change in so many people. I've heard, outside, as I came into your world and connected with you, I talked to other people, oh, you know her, and how'd you connect with her? And everybody says the same thing. Wherever she comes, she infuses life, she infuses energy, she affects change. It's clearly your gift. You're on a mission, and we're all better for it that you spent the time with us today.
We're better because of you.
Thanks,
we are
Coach.
better because of you.
Thank you.
He makes everyone feel like he's your best friend.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Love you.
Give it up for Arjun. This was not easy.
Thanks, guys.